to talk about how to become a successful leader in BNI. And I am joined from across the globe. Shweta is here to talk to us a little bit about how to be that successful leader in BNI. She is working on that 5th year in her membership. She actually got involved in BNI and launched her first chapter shortly after she joined. So in 2019, she launched her first chapter. And then in 2020, she launched the first chapter, online chapter in India. And then she's delivered since then over 35 presentations. And she knows a ton about how to be successful in BNI. Welcome. So excited to have you here with us, Shweta.
Thank you so much, Tiffanie, and very good morning and good evening, good afternoon to all the viewers from all across the world. Thank you, Tiffanie, for giving this opportunity. And yes, would be very, very happy, glad to share my experience from this last 5 years of journey in BNI.
So I think you have the 3 C's that you want to share with us. So tell us about how to be a successful leader using the 3 C's.
Sure, Tiffanie, my pleasure. Yes, so, our founder, Mr. Ivan Meissner, always used to say that every member in BNI is a leader. Yeah. So that means that leadership is not about authority. Leadership is not about head table. Leadership is not about roles and positions that we get, whether we are in BNI, whether we are in any other social areas of our life. But leadership is all about what we do, how we lead, how much clear we are. So having said that, every person who has his own business or profession to lead, even a simple housewife who is leading a family, is a leader. A leader is a person who leads, who has clarity, who has vision, and above all, who can really add value to somebody's life is a leader. But whenever we talk about leader and leadership, one question often comes, that is how to become a successful leader. And it's no surprise that today the highest or the most searched word in the world on Google is leader and leadership. So the word is really behind finding more and more leaders. So let's see today, there are many things available, many resources available, theories, principles, qualities about leader and leadership available on the fingertips, when you search. But this is something out of my own experience of last few years, 15 years of my own professional experience and 4 years definitely of my own BNI journey. I would like to talk about 3 C's. Yeah.
And so before you get to the 3 C's, I think sometimes people think, well, I'm not a leader, I'm just this or that. And I love your point of, even the housewife is the leader of the household. And if you're a solopreneur, even if you're the only one in your company, you are certainly a leader as well. So I love this idea of we are all leaders in some way, shape, or form. Even sometimes if it's just leading the people that we're with to get to, where are we going to eat today? You may need to lead in that situation. So I love that. So give us your first C.
Yes. So the first C is all about, conviction. We often have heard about the word confidence. Confidence, if you just look into a very simple definition of confidence, that when we are clear about what, when, where, how, why about the subject, we feel confident about that subject, But above that, there is a word conviction. Conviction is more and deeper than the word confidence. When you are logically, emotionally ready, and not just ready, but you have a strong feeling, that is a feeling that comes from your emotional center, the feeling that comes from your emotional quotient, that yes, I want to do this. Okay. Then the conviction comes. So I would say a simple formula for conviction is your logic, second, your emotions, and your strong belief system about doing something, about executing something. So as a leader, we need to know, we need to ask ourselves, are we really convinced on what we are doing? Because nobody is going to ask you what you are doing. Whether the result comes good, everybody is going to praise you. But when the result comes really bad or not expected, everybody is going to point out fingers at you. What will we do at that time as a leader? So as a leader, it is important that whatever we do, whether small or big, We need to be convinced, we need to be into the conviction that yes, I really want to do this. So I would say that to become a successful leader, the first thing we should be knowing is, are we committed, are we convinced on doing this? So first thing every member should ask themselves is, am I really convinced about promoting my services into BNI? Am I really convinced about the business system processes that a BNI gives to promote my own services? Or you can ask yourself authentically, or am I in BNI because of somebody's conviction? Am I in BNI because of somebody's influence? Then the things won't work for you as a leader. So as a leader, the first important C that you need to work out is your conviction. Your conviction really gives you clarity, how to go, where to go, and how to lead your own self first than anyone else.
And I love
Because
sometimes that we do borrow others' conviction to get us there,
yes,
whether it's reading a book or joining BNI or trying a new restaurant or a dessert. It helps get us there, but then it's important for us to be convinced. And I know sometimes some of my clients that I work with can get a little like, oh, why am I doing this? What? And I think sometimes that conviction is easy for us to get from our clients, from our referral sources, those people outside of us that know us and know us so well. They can give us the opportunity to help us build up that confidence that we could have for the conviction that we believe.
Yes.
Okay, so we got one C. Give me a number.
Yes. So, there's all C's, all these 3 C's that I'm going to talk about are in a process. Okay. So the first C we saw is conviction. Then the second C comes, that is commitment. Okay. In BNI, we have 7 most amazing, interesting core values, and one of them is accountability. But this commitment is even more than this. Okay. Once you commit, you are accountable for your own accountability. Isn't it very interesting? So the commitment, we have heard this word many a times, and we often say that, oh, he's very committed, oh, she's very committed, and we praise people because of their commitment levels. But have we ever introspected how can we increase this commitment level? Or sometimes if we are not committed to something, why are we not committed on that? If you deep down this particular question, you will find that the level of interest that you are into that thing is little low. And why that level of interest is low? Because the conviction is not there, because it has been asked, or it has been influenced, or it has been forced by someone that commitment cannot come. Dear leaders, commitment comes only when it is your own voice to commit, when it is your own voice to execute on things. So simple 2 things that you can do in a day is spend some me time with your own self, at least 10 minutes, and try to introspect your whole day. Okay, just go and check your whole day, how many times you have committed saying yes when you actually wanted to say no. I've seen many leaders often saying yes for so many things. But there is a great proverb, especially for leaders, that if you really want to become great, you have to let go the good. Okay, so many a times your no is very much important than your yes. Okay, and when you have a power of saying no, then many a times your no will lead you to the right path, and your no may lead many of the other people whom you are lead you to the right path. So if you want to increase your commitment level, just introspect your whole day and check your conviction levels, and check whatever you are committing right now. Are you really want to commit this? Are you really into it? If no, then take time, ask time from the people who are asking for your commitments. You can always ask time unless and until it is a life and death situation. Okay, so take a pause, ask little time, sit with yourself, check your conviction, and then commit. So once you commit like this, I'm sure that whatever you are leading, it will go on to the right path. So this is second C.
I love that idea of creating the commitment and committing to what fits, and saying, like that's such an important thing. And especially I find entrepreneurs, business owners, they want to say yes, 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 though it's so easy to get overwhelmed and overcommitted. And if you're spread too thin, then none of it gets done well. So I love that idea of like, let's be committed to what I say yes to, though be careful of not saying yes to everything that comes our way. All right. So you got one more C for us, and I am dying to hear.
Yeah. So as I said, it is a process. So the first is your conviction, second is your commitment, and the third, the most important word, but often, misunderstood, is communication. As a leader, this word often comes to you in different ways, but I would say that, it is one, there is very, very nice proverb that common sense is most common in most common people, so the same way, something like communication is often heard by us, but it is the most commonly misunderstood word. Communication is not instructing. Communication is not passing on the informations. Communication is far more deeper and wider than this. And as a leader, are we aware about the depth and the wideness of the word? Because as a leader, we are into the process of communication every second. If you are with people, other people, okay. So for the communication, I would like to say that if your conviction is right, if you are really committed, then the third process comes is communication. So communication comes from clarity. Communication comes when you are really committed about that result of the communication, and once you have these two things clear, then only your communication would have that power, would have that effectiveness. And always remember, dear friends, that communication is not to please someone. Communication is not to be liked by someone, but communication is to be trusted and to be trustworthy for someone. So your communication should lead people to the right path, no matter whether they love you for that, no matter whether they please you for that, no matter whether you are being liked by them or not. Your communication should be as per the result of the system and process, and not just because you want to please people. Many a times I have seen that leaders are not able to communicate rightly just because of fear of losing somebody's likeliness, somebody's, maybe they are a little bit fearful about losing the relationships. They are a little bit fearful about what others will think of them if they say things very clearly or very much outspokenly, or maybe very much authentically. So I would here like to say that unless and until you are not clear on your communications, it is better you again take a pause, rethink on this, and then take your communications to the right level. With communication, there is no right and wrong, but its result will always give you whether your communication was right and wrong. If your communication is right, there are three symptoms which will come. First is it will foster the understanding at both the sides. And we say that when we teach, we learn. So when you are communicating, you learn even far more better. So it should foster understanding both the sides. Second symptom is it should enhances the relationship between the two people. Eventually, maybe sometimes if you are really very frank and authentic in your communication, the opposite person may not like, but then eventually your relationship would go stronger. I'm 100% sure on this. And the third most important is the level of trust increases. And Tiffanie, as we all know that in BNI, how important the word trust is. We have learned that the referral comes only after a particular level of trust that we build with each other. And this trust comes from where? This trust comes from your conviction in your own work, conviction in BNI process, commitment that you give to yourself, the commitment that you give to BNI. And the third, out of these two, when you do a powerful, effective communication, of your own work and even with your fellow members, then this third trust level comes. So if these three things you are achieving in BNI, then mostly I would say that your communications are going right. And once these three C's are complete, I would say a person would get a power of becoming an effective leader in whatever small or big they are into.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing with us the three C's so that we can be that successful leader in BNI and in life in general. If people are looking to connect with you and find you online, where can they go and do that?
I'm always available on my, they can just go and type LifeSecret.co. I would be there. And in BNI, I'm available on my WhatsApp numbers as well. And obviously all the social medias I have put in my links wherein they can go to my calendar, book the session or book the meeting with me, a discovery call or one-to-one with Shweta, I would be very happy to have a one-to-one with BNI members across the world, and would be very happy and glad to share my experiences, not only as a member, but also as a DC, and how we can really grow and build community better and better.
Thank you so very much for being here. And if you're wondering, we love connecting with directors around the globe. When not serving her BNI members with conviction, with that commitment, and communicating with them, she also does scientific hand analysis. And I'm super excited. She's going to be one of our presenters for the 2022 More Money, Time, and Fun Summit. So you can get a taste of her there at that event. I'll put the link in the description, as well as her website. If you want to check her out, you could do that now or do that in December. Thank you so very much for being here to talk to us about conviction, commitment, and communication. Thank you so much, and happy networking, y'all.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. Thank you, Tiffanie, and all the very best to all the leaders of coming time. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.